Well, every kid loves toys. There's no question about that. And they probably get more of them this time of the year than any other time of the year. So how do you know what's appropriate if you're buying something for the holidays? I'm Shelley Koffler with University Health System. I'm here with Mandy Foltz. She is the coordinator for Safe Kids San Antonio, which is led by University Health System. Everybody loves toys,
Yes.
but not every toy is right for every child. So you have brought an array of things to tell us how to make this selection.
Okay.
Let's start over here.
So I've got some games, and most of our toys are going to have on the box the age appropriate, whether it's 3 and up or it's 6 to 9 and up. Like these little guys, these are choking hazards. So definitely want this for our older kids. So it says on the box here, 6 to 14.
Right.
So it'll give you the age appropriateness. So definitely as you're purchasing gifts for the holiday season, we're looking at the age of the child and also the developmental stage of the child and checking the boxes to make sure it matches.
So let's move over to this section of the table and talk about what you have here. And I'm not sure what this is, but it doesn't look good. What is this?
It's not. So a lot of our toys are battery operated. And a lot of them are battery operated by what we call the button batteries. So the little watch batteries or little, they're flat discs.
Sure.
And so this actually is to simulate what it would look like if your child swallowed a button battery. This is definitely an emergency type call. So the ham represents our insides, so the interior of a child's either esophagus or stomach. And the button battery actually corrodes the interior lining. So it's very, very dangerous. So when we are purchasing toys, we want to know how they operate, making sure that kids don't have access to the battery. But then when we're also buying batteries to replace for those toys, we're keeping those batteries up and out of reach and out of sight.
So this is the acid in the battery acting on your body.
Yes.
Wow, that is pretty scary.
It is scary. So it's definitely an emergency situation.
Okay, and I'm not quite sure what this is either, but I know it's important, so
looks
like
lots
it's a magnet.
of fun. So these toys are fun for our older kids, and yes, they are magnets. And so a lot of fun to play with, but we want to keep these out of reach of our younger kiddos. So if you've got older kids that are getting some fun, cool toys, and then you've got younger kids in the home, really challenging to separate the two, but it can be done. These guys, if a child were to swallow one piece of the magnet and then another piece of the magnet, it also could be dangerous in those magnets finding each other inside the child. So definitely want to keep these up and out of reach. They're also a choking hazard. So I brought today my small parts tester, also known as a choke tube. So anything that can fit inside, so whether it's decorations, lights that pop off, or our magnets, definitely a choking hazard. So it's pretty big.
I was going to say it's bigger than a quarter. It's like a $50.
Right.
In size. So you're right, that is big. And I have a feeling that there are lots of parts that are much smaller than that kids can get their hands on.
Absolutely. Lots of things can fit in this. So when in doubt, as you're buying different toys, if you've got children that are 5 and below, or if you've got that child that just still puts things in their mouth, anything that can fit in this is dangerous. And so making sure that we're keeping those types of things out of reach of our kiddos.
While we're talking about swallowing things that you shouldn't swallow, let's say your child, even the best parents, things happen.
Sure.
What do you do? I mean, is it something you can take care of at home, or is this something that needs to, you need to respond by taking them to an emergency room?
So I think it depends on what they've swallowed and if they're choking or not choking. If they've swallowed something like a button battery, and you may not always know. So that can be challenging. That's why it's so important to be proactive and preventative and keeping those things up and out of reach. But definitely if you find out your child has swallowed something like a button battery, that's an emergency, a 911 call. If your child has swallowed something else, you could definitely call the poison hotline. And that number is 1-800 222-1222. And so they can guide you on what
Great
to do
idea.
if your child swallows something else.
That's probably a great number to put on your refrigerator.
It
and
is.
to have handy.
I encourage all of the parents that I interact with to actually store it in their cell phone.
Okay, super. Well, one of the big toys that kids often get at Christmas is a bicycle. It's been
Yes.
going on for years. It's a wonderful thing to get your child. They love it. But there's some safety concerns there too,
Sure.
and obviously you brought the helmet.
I have Fred the head here, and he is to remind you that if you're getting your child a bicycle this year, definitely want to go ahead and spend just those extra couple of dollars to get a helmet. And there is a proper way to fit a helmet on a child. Definitely want to have 2 fingers between their eyebrow and the brim of the helmet. Then you can see he has a nice V around his ears. And then it should be nice and snug. So you really shouldn't be able to fit but 1 finger in between the chin and the chin strap. So typically, these guys only cost, a little bit, $20 maybe, not too much. If you're already buying the bicycle, go ahead and purchase the
And you
helmet.
don't want it to slide around on the head, right?
You want it to be nice and snug.
Okay, yeah. We should all wear helmets these days.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is recalls, because manufacturers produce toys. Sometimes they have to tell us, oh, we made a mistake. There's something about this that
Sure.
isn't quite right or isn't appropriate, and we want you to bring it back. How do we find out about recalls, and what are some of your thoughts about information parents should have?
Sure. So there's a couple of things. Sometimes toys will come with a registration card, kind of like your car seats do, or different types of things. So if your toys come with a registration card, definitely register your toy. That way, the company knows that you have that particular toy, that particular model number, manufacture date, and so if there is a recall, they can notify you. You can also check on the Consumer Product Safety website, and it'll tell you as well if there's recalls for different things.
All good advice, and I know we're going to have some great things under the tree and some great things being given to children this holiday season. We just want them to be safe. So thank you
Absolutely.
for your tips.
Thank you.
Mandy Foltz is the coordinator for Safe Kids San Antonio, which is led by University Health System. I'm Shelley Koffler with University Health System. Happy holidays.